Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Judith. I am going to be doing a little spooky makeup series since it is spooky season now officially. And I guess I don't know, do you guys count spooky season the first day of fall, or do you guys wait till October 1st? Because as soon as fall hits, I like to consider it done already. I start watching scary movies. I just do everything that goes with the spooky season. So I figured that because in my last makeup video I talked about the sleep paralysis that I experienced, that I should do like a little series where before I used to just sit down and talk and tell you guys about the things that I've gone through. I would bring family members in, friends, to talk about their experiences, which I feel like was super fun. But I've already done I've already reached out to everyone that's like close to me, so I feel like I should just do something a little different this time around. So I'm going to be sharing scary stories with you guys. I'm thinking I'm going to be searching scary stories to tell you guys about, but because it's been a while since I did something like this, I know, let me see, I feel like I didn't do it last year, but let's look back. I did do some scary stories last year. I was thinking of doing Halloween makeup looks, but because it's the first day of fall, I want to stick to a fall look, and then hopefully for the October videos I will do some cute Halloween makeup looks. So if you guys have any ideas or any suggestions of what makeup looks I should do, drop them down in the comment section. I kind of have an idea of the makeup looks that I want to do already, but I am open to suggestions, and I'm gonna try to do these on a weekly basis. But if I need to do more and I have time, then why not? So drop down your suggestions. Let's get started before I ramble on. If you've already watched my stories, it's okay, just stay here. It's been a while, so I'm just here to refresh your memory because it's been a while. And if I'm looking down, my mirror is down here. So I'm gonna start with my eyebrows, and I'm just gonna be doing my makeup and telling you what's happened to me. Eyebrows are done. Let's get started to my childhood, to when I was a child. So this started once upon a time. Judith was 5 years old. Where's my concealer? Oh, it's right here. It's hiding behind my coffee mug. So when I was around 5, I want to say 5 years old, maybe a little bit younger, my parents were renting a bedroom at my mom's brother's house. So it was 4 of us, 1 bedroom, and we lived really happy, honestly. I remember having the best moments there. I remember just, yeah, we were crowded, and we probably already, from what I remember, we were mostly in the bedroom. And I do remember us having movie night. My mom would buy us ice cream, and she would serve us in a glass while we would watch TV. So even though it was crowded, we definitely had, from what I remember, some good times there. My parents were both working, so they, you know, they would give us the best that they could. My parents had what I believe was like a full or queen bed. The room wasn't like super tiny because we were able to fit my parents' bed, a bunk bed, and a hielera. I know we had a hielera in there. We had a fridge. I am going to go in with the same palette that I used on the last video, but I'm gonna do more orangey tones. I'm gonna go on this side. My brother and I had bunk beds, so he would sleep on the top, I would sleep on the bottom. I'm gonna go in with this orangey one up here. So yeah, that was the how we slept. Every night, once everyone was sleeping already, I would wake up in the middle of the night to seeing people, okay? real people in my head. This happened for weeks, okay? It got to the point that my parents would just have they had a flashlight right next to them. That way when I would wake up, they'd be able to be like, look, mija, there's nothing there. You had a nightmare. But it was not a nightmare. It was not a nightmare, and I'll tell you guys why. I would wake up and sit up and stand up looking at this thing. It was happening live, not while I was dreaming. I would literally wake up my parents and be like, look mom, look dad, there's that thing, it's right there, it's coming towards me, it's staring right at me, just like that. And there was times where I'm gonna go in with a darker, deeper kind of caramel color right here. And by the way, this, I don't know if I said it. I know I said I used it last time, but it's the 3503 Fierce by Nature Morphe palette. I forgot where I was at. But yeah, I would see different things all the time. It could be people. Sometimes I would see skulls. Sometimes I would see snakes on my bed. It was really random. And it would happen every single night. It happened for probably weeks, I would say. I don't even remember if it was weeks, months. But this started when I was little, like I said, probably 5 years old or less. I don't remember the exact age. But I was a little and a scared little girl. Here's the thing though. I used to love having dolls, okay? Dolls and Barbies, those were my thing. But mainly, I was more of a doll person. I loved having baby dolls, whether it was muñecas with hair or just fake babies that were bald and like, you know, that looked like newborns. But I loved playing with dolls, and I would have a lot of peluches as well. If you don't know what peluches are, it's just like stuffed bears, pretty much. I had a whole collection because it was my thing. And I would sleep with them. I would lay them out in bed and kiss them goodnight every night because I loved them so much. This is where it gets weird, okay? So that would happen. And I forgot who it was that my mom told. I think it was my grandma or a lady. I don't know. But I want to say it was my grandma. My mom mentioned that I was waking up every day crying, seeing things. And I would see things like, I feel like I need to go in with a darker one. I'm going to use this one right here. This is going to be a simple, very simple fall look, okay? So my mom mentioned that I would wake up and see things, and that she was really concerned because you know, of course, I feel like if I had a kid and they were waking me up every single night telling me, look mom, there's someone there, there's something there, I would freak out. I would throw the whole child away. Like, how did my mom not throw me away? I would be freaked out. Just kidding. I mean, I wouldn't throw my child away, literally, but you know what I mean. My mom mentioned that I was sleeping with my dolls every single night. So my grandma said, I guess, that if you sleep with any dolls, you're not allowing for your angels to protect you because there's some sort of evil, or like evil can reach the doll or something like that. So it just doesn't allow your angels to be able to fully protect you. So my mom, of course, didn't know this, because if not, she would have not been letting me sleep with these dolls. So grandma told her, try having her put away the dolls in the night, like on the side of her bed, or just not near her. Just make sure she doesn't sleep with them, and see if that works. So that same night, my mom didn't let me sleep with my dolls anymore, and it just completely stopped. I stopped having these little, I don't know, what would you call them, these little visions of me seeing dead people.
I see dead people
in your dreams while you're awake. Dead people like in graves and coffins,
walking around like regular people.
Pretty much. And I'm gonna say dead people because that's pretty much what I was seeing. I would see scary looking people that just did not look like regular human beings that I should not fear. They looked terrifying. There was one time that it was so scary. I saw one that was walking towards me, and as that was getting closer, there was another one. The bunk bed that we had some little stairs that you could climb on so that you can get to the top bunk bed. So one of them was climbing, going over my brother's bed. So I was terrified. I was like, they're not just out to get me now, they're out to get my brother also. And it just completely stopped. Completely stopped after my mom stopped me from sleeping with these dolls. So that's when it started. That's when all of this started for me. I always had horrible nightmares all the time. There was one time that I had a dream. At this time we were at an apartment, and the bunk bed we still had the same bunk bed, and we would still share. It was a 1-bedroom apartment, or I think it was like a studio. Our bunk bed was, say it was against that wall right there, and then my parents' bed was against the wall across but facing the bunk bed. I woke up screaming because I saw my father headless laying next to my mother. His head was right next to his body, staring at me. So that was just one of my nightmares. I would have nightmares, and then I would have things that I would actually see in the middle of the night. So then this time that we're in our studio, my mom happened to get pregnant, and I ended up having a little sister, which is now my sister Jasmine. And it was now my parents' bed, our bunk beds, and then my sister's crib. So I woke up in the middle of the night. My baby sister was sleeping. She was like a few months old, and I see this baby standing over her, and I was like, what the hell? And then this baby turns around, and it has red, evil ass looking eyes. It was an evil baby. So this Demon, we're gonna call it David. Okay, so in my what at the time, I was like, this is a David. This is a David. That's what I'm seeing. I think at this time I was probably like, I don't know, 7 years old. My sister and I are 6 years apart. I was probably around 7 because she was only a few months. I don't know if it was gonna do something to my sister, but of course I started yelling at my parents, and I was like, there is something right there. There's this baby, like, it's trying to get my sister. I saved my sister's life that night. Sister, if you're watching this, you're freaking welcome. Okay, you are here because of me. I'm just kidding. Things like that would just randomly happen. It had stopped, it had slowed down when my mom did take away the dolls from me, but I would just occasionally have these like random nightmares that would freaking creep out my whole family. Fast forward to me being older and starting to experience a lot of sleep paralysis.
You're asleep, but your mind is waking up. You're trying to gather your surroundings. You open your eyes, your eyelids are heavy. You feel exhausted. What's that?
When I mean a lot, I mean a lot. Like, it could be daytime, I could be taking a nap. It didn't matter. If a lot of people say that it happens when you're sleeping on your back, I could be sleeping on my side, I could be sleeping on my stomach. It didn't matter. It would happen to me. And it got worse when my mom had actually she was like really concerned and was just like feeling very negative vibes at our house at the time. Fast forward, I was already older. My parents bought a house when I turned I believe like 11, 12. And then shortly after, my mom got pregnant with my baby sister Janelle. Janelle and I are a lot of years apart. I think we're like 12 years apart, if I'm not mistaken. So we had a house already, and my mom was just very concerned. This was when I was older though. This happened, I was like 18, 19. I was already driving, I was working. So we were just feeling like these negative vibes at the house. My little sister, my sister Jasmine, actually would see this guy with a black hat all the time appear like on the window in the living room, and it was like this tall dark figure. It wasn't just me, okay? I wasn't the only weird one. My sister started like kind of seeing, not like to what I was experiencing, but this guy was following her. So at this point, it got to, there was a day that my parents were watching TV in the living room, and we used to, especially because we didn't have an AC unit, we would always have the front door open, but we had a screen door. And they saw the same dark figure with a hat standing outside of our gate, just looking into the house. And my dad of course got up, because at that time the garage was kind of like a little studio, so we had it renting. We were renting it, or my parents I should say. So they thought, oh, maybe someone is looking for renters or tenants or whatever it's called. They're like, maybe they're looking for someone, right? So they went outside, and the man was gone. He just vanished, disappeared. And my parents were both like, wait, we both saw that, right? This wasn't like our imagination. A lot would happen in that house. We bought the house from my tia and my tío. They actually used to live there, which was my mom's sister. They ended up moving to Texas, so they had sold the house to my parents. So we got the house, but even before then, shit would go down in that house. People would see things. My cousins that lived there would experience things like that. And I don't want to get too into it because I don't think we have the time for it. I don't want to make this video super long, but they would see things would go down in that house. So my mom was just like, you know what, we need a padre here to come bendecir the house, because there's just so much going on here. And we had a padre going, and unfortunately, forward to when I was working already, because it took a while for my mom to get a priest to go bless the home and everything. When the priest went, I was at work. I was working, and my parents didn't have a spare key to, I was at that time now living in the little garage studio, so the padre was not able to bless the house. I mean, bless my area. So it was the whole house, and then the studio, the garage, it was blocked off so that you couldn't come inside through the house. You would have to go through the side, through the backyard to the side, and I had a door right there, or there was a gate also at the side of the house towards the front where you could come in as well. But I had my own entrance pretty much, and I want to think it's because they were able to bless the whole house except for my garage, my little studio. So I feel like everything was just trapped in there versus the whole house already being clean, and it was just my place. My battery's dying already. What? How? BRB. I think I'm pretty much done with everything. I just need lashes. Yeah, that was fast. Where was I? So then my sleep paralysis started getting worse. I would have them any time of the day. I was working 2 jobs, and I was also in school full-time. So I would sleep at random times of the day to like get a little nap in, and it would happen, and it was just a horrible feeling. I'm gonna use my favorite lip liner, Café by LA Girl. Okay, so I was having all these random sleep paralysis where it wasn't just me in bed and I couldn't move. No, I would always see something in my sleep paralysis. It could be someone standing next to me, someone whispering something next to me. It was always something more related to the darker side. I felt like I didn't want to go to sleep because I was just scared something would happen. I would go to sleep with my lamps on. Speaking of sleeping with the lamps on, there was actually one day that I was in the garage. This happened in the middle of the night. Random time. I was already knocked out, but my lights were on because I couldn't sleep with the lights off. I would be too scared. I'm gonna use Kylie Jenner's gloss in literally. So this one night I was sleeping and out of nowhere I hear knocking on my window. And this was back when I was single, okay? So I was over here thinking maybe my sneaky link at the time just showed up. But I was like, why would he just show up? Why not call and make sure I'm home or, you know, available or, you know? So I'm over here like, oh, maybe it's a friend. So I look out the window. I honestly don't like wearing lip gloss because my hair gets all over it, but because my hair is in a bun, which I'm gonna fix it in a bit, by the way. It's just I did my oil treatment because I'm gonna wash it tomorrow, and so I didn't want to have it down because it's gonna be like oily. But I opened the blind to see who the hell it is, who's disturbing my beauty sleep. And I see a little girl, and she looks at me and she just stops knocking, right? So she goes towards the side gate, assuming that I was gonna open the gate. And I got off to go open it, and it's not until I got to the door that I was like, wait a minute, who is this little girl knocking on my door? What does she want? What is going on? Like, am I really gonna open this door to a stranger, no matter who it is? Because they use anyone to be able to like break into your house. Like, people are smart, okay? So of course if you see this little girl crying out for help, like, they're gonna get you. And me, honestly, I was in shock that I didn't know what to do. So the first thing I did was, wait, let me call my brother. My brother normally would tend to be awake at that time, and I was like, maybe he's expecting someone, or his friends were here and they had a little sister or something, you know. I don't know. He used to hang out on the side, kind of close to where my door was. So I was like, maybe, I don't know, maybe this girl forgot something. I don't know, I'm seeing things. So I call him and he was like, no, I'm not expecting anyone. Let me see who's out there. And this happened in a matter of seconds, okay? So then once the little girl realized that I was not opening the door, she started banging on my window, but not saying anything. Like, there was no like, can you help me please? I would be able to hear it. There was no help me please, there's someone after me, nothing. She was just banging on my window. So I didn't look anymore. I was like, something's going on. My brother was out in a matter of like a minute, and then he calls me. He was like, are you sure you saw a little girl? And I was like, yeah. He had gone outside, checked everywhere. He even stepped outside the gate, and he didn't see anyone. He didn't see anything suspicious going on. But then, this is an interesting part. I remember that that week, I don't know if it was that week or the week prior, there was this unfortunate thing that happened on our block. There was cops, and I remember going to work. It was in the morning, and I heard like this mom crying. But this house had this mom had more boys, right? And these boys were always messing with the law some way because there was always cops there. So I was just thinking, oh, maybe their son's going to jail or something. It turns out that the little girl there committed, you know. later on that day, there was this guy on our block that ended up, he was going around trying to collect money for the neighbors to, you know, because it was just unexpected. And we didn't have cash at the time, so my dad had told him, oh, are you gonna be walking around tomorrow? Like, I can make sure to go take out cash. This same evening, this guy, young, I think at this time I was, like I said, 18, 19, maybe 20, I don't remember, but it was I was young. I was barely starting to live life as an adult. He goes into cardiac arrest and dies that same night. So this little girl, my sister, she was around my sister Jasmine's age, and she used to play with her. When they were little, they used to play with each other. Once they got older, they kind of just, you know, drifted apart, but they used to play together, and she used to go over to the house. So we were wondering, like, I don't know if you guys believe in this stuff, but they say when someone dies, their spirit goes and picks up their steps. So they're going to Besos, so they pretty much go everywhere they've pretty much been to, type of thing. That's what they say, right? So my family was like, what if she was picking up her steps? Like, it was such a tragic loss, that what if she was just lost and walking around and trying to figure, you know, find herself or figure out what was going on. And I was like, oh my god, but why at my window? But my window was the biggest window, and it was in front of the house, so, and my lights were on. I don't know, but it was so weird. It was freaky, and yeah, that's what happened. So that was another one of the things that happened to me at the old house. I saw La Muerte, one of my sleep paralysis, in my parents' house right now. The other day, when was it? On Monday, I didn't go to the gym because I was tired, went to bed late, and I told Alex, you know what, I'll just work out at the house. I'm just not feeling the gym. It was on a Monday, and I was like, I can't today, right? So normally when I'm feeling like that, I'll just work out at the house. We have a little gym room. And when he left, okay, I don't know if I was sleeping. I can't assure you. I probably did fall asleep, and I'm hoping it was just like a little dream. I am loving this look, by the way. I was sleeping, right, like on my side, and I felt like if someone laid their head next to my head. So me thinking my man just left, he probably came back because he forgot something, and he normally kisses me goodbye whenever he leaves to the gym or to work or whatever, right? If I'm sleeping, he'll come and say goodbye to me. So I found it weird because he'll normally kiss me like on the lips, like I'll wake up so he can say goodbye to me. And I felt it just like lay on my head because I was sideways like this, and I just felt like this pressure, just like a slow, like someone laying on my head. So I like opened my eyes right away, and there was no one there. There was no one there, okay? Like, why does this happen to me? So of course I was freaked out, and I was even like, man, I should have just gone to the gym because at this point I'm not gonna be able to sleep. Thankfully, I felt really tired, so I just knocked out. So y'all pray for me. Remember that I'm doing this for you guys. I'm doing this so I can entertain you guys, but I'm gonna be suffering all month long. But it's okay, I'll be fine. I have my notes here so I wouldn't forget the things that I wanted to mention, and I actually have one more that I have a few that I left out, but it's okay. I don't want to make this video too long. This night, Alex was with his brother. I think they were having like a game night or something, and it was a little bit after midnight. I had already turned off all the lights that I would normally turn off, like the living room, the hallway. I had turned off all those lights so that I could go to my room, and I was gonna shower. So then I go into the door because, I mean, I locked the door because I know it's recommended to not lock your doors, but I have this fear that if I don't lock my door, something is gonna come get me in the middle of the night. So of course I locked my door, and then I had I was in the master bedroom, so I had my bathroom in the bedroom, and it's right next to the door to come into the room. So it would be the room, it would be the door, and then right to the right it'd be the other door to go into the bathroom, and then it was like a little hallway to go to the room. So I would normally shower with my door open because I would lock my door, so I would be like, you know, who cares? And I was already undressed, like fully undressed, ready to get into the shower, and then I start hearing footsteps. So me freaked out because there was absolutely no one at the house, okay? No one at all. I had just locked all the doors. I always double check that all the doors were locked for the backyard, for the front, for the garage. I always like double check because I was super paranoid. At first I hear like a noise and I'm like, what is that, you know? So then I go to my door, about to open it, and I hear footsteps, and these footsteps sound like they're coming from far, literally coming closer and closer, and they stop at my door for like a few seconds, and then I just hear the footsteps going away again. Like if they stopped at my door and were just there, and then they went back into the hallway. So that's what it sounded like. These footsteps sounded heavy, like it was like a man in boots, like botas, like stepping down, like they were heavy steps. Of course I freak out and I call Alex crying, okay, because I'm over here thinking I'm about to be murdered. Like, who the hell got into the house? How did they get into the house if I had just locked all the doors? And I felt so bad because he was with his brother, and I was like, I don't want to interrupt your like brother night, like bring him over if you want, but can you just come please, like check the house because I heard footsteps. So of course he comes, he opens the garage door, make sure no one's in there. He checks all the closets. We have a lot of doors. This house was like, it has a lot of rooms, it has a lot of closets. So he's literally checking closet to closet, door to door, and I'm getting hot. And it's probably the coffee. And there was nothing. There was no one. There was no one. So that was probably like one of the most recent things that has happened to me where I feel like really like, what was that? Other than like nightmares and sleep paralysis, that was just one of those things that I couldn't explain. That was like, what? How? I feel like when it happens when I'm sleeping, it could simply just be me sleeping. Like I could probably, I just tell myself maybe it was a nightmare, or maybe, yeah, it seemed like I was awake, or it felt like I was awake, but maybe I wasn't. Maybe I was sleeping. But this happened on a night where I hadn't gone to sleep yet. I was getting ready to go to bed. So it happened at a time that I was fully awake and I was frightened. And this is where I actually had the nightmare or the sleep paralysis where I saw La Muerte. So I don't know, I just feel like at first we were like, maybe it's the house that we were at, and we try to think like maybe something followed us, or it's just us. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know, but I don't like it. Like, it's not a great feeling. But it's not just nightmares. I feel like I do remember a lot of my dreams. I have really creative, wild dreams that I wake up and I'm like, how did I even, like, why am I dreaming that? Or how do I even have that like going through my head? But I don't want to go on too long because I already finished my makeup. I was gonna try to like slick down my hair. I think I'm just gonna leave it like this. I feel like it looks okay. I don't want to continue rambling on though, but I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. This is going to be the end of this makeup look. It was super easy, just like 2-3 different colors on the eyebrows. I mean, on the eyebrows, the eyes. Super simple makeup and just some lip gloss, and that was it. I am really excited to be doing these videos. Honestly, I felt like it was fun. I feel like I enjoy more doing makeup with being able to talk to you guys about something versus just me being like, oh, I'm doing this color or I'm applying this to my face. I enjoy talking. I feel like it was more fun. Like, I'm gonna be looking forward to the comments, and I can't wait to see what stories I'm gonna share with you guys. I don't know exactly what stories I'm gonna share yet, but make sure that you are subscribed to my channel and turn on your notifications. That way you are notified when my next video goes up. And that's gonna be it for today. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys on the next one. Love you guys. Besos.